Welcome to the Plug and Cap Manufacturing Company Incorporated Invoicing and Accounts Receivables program. First, let's go into the inventory area and let's go into the Carton inventory database. This is a simple database that keeps track of our Carton inventory items. As you can see, each one comes up on the screen. And if we want to add a quantity to this particular inventory item, we just type in our quantity and click update quantity, and it would add it to our back ordered quantity. And if we wanted to subtract quantity, we just type our quantity into subtract quantity and click update quantity, and it would subtract it from our quantity. You'll notice it adds and subtracts with the back ordered quantity. If that is 0, then it would perform the operation on the on-hand quantity figure. And once we enter in a new inventory item, we would click the Save and Insert button, and that would add it to the table. And let's go back into the inventory area. Let's go into sleeve inventory. It's the same idea, mechanically speaking, as carton inventory, except this would be for inventory stored in sleeves. Let's go back into the inventory area. We're going to run a current inventory report for carton inventory. And this is the report. It includes the description, unit price, carton price, distributor unit price, distributor carton price, surcharge, and on-hand quantity. And let's go back into inventory. We'll run a current inventory report for sleeve inventory. Basically the same thing, except you have a sleeve inventory price and distributor per sleeve inventory price. Otherwise, everything's identical to the carton inventory current report. And let's go back into inventory again. This is an option to increase selected prices by a percentage for carton inventory. You would just pick your price item in the carton inventory and enter in a percent, and it would increase the price within carton inventory for the field you selected by the percentage you indicate. And let's go into inventory area again. Let's go into increase selected prices for sleeve inventory. Same idea as for carton inventory, except it would do the operation on the sleeve inventory items for the percentage and price field you select. Now let's go into the invoices area. We're going to go into the customers data table. This is our customers that are in the system. These buttons are for searching by contact, zip code, and phone. You just enter in the information in the appropriate field and click the button, and it will search and scan to the record you want. Now let's say you wanted to duplicate this customer record that's currently on the screen. You would click the duplicate button, and it adds a duplicate of the customer you selected. Let's delete that. Now the purpose for doing that is you may have the same customer with plants at more than one location, and instead of retyping everything in, you just want to duplicate it and alter the address information. Now let's go back into the invoices area. We'll pull up the invoice template, and this is what the screen looks like. You have your header information up top and your detail information in the middle. This holds up to 15 detail lines, and at the bottom you have your total lines. These include subtotal, freight, pallet charge, discount, and the total line. And this is where you enter in the percentage of the discount, and you enter in a pallet description here. And we have a toggle pricing button. This prices 3 different ways. Case carton pricing is the default. You can also price by distributor per carton price, and you can price by sleeve per carton price. And we have a toggle button to go between invoice and credit. Invoice is the default, and you can create this as a credit memo, and then it toggles back to the invoice also. And this drop down is for selecting the inventory item you wish to add to the invoice or credit memo. You just click on the one you want, Then you type in your quantity and tab across, and it automatically does the arithmetic for you, and so on and so forth. And you can see how it totals at the bottom of the invoice. This is a listing of customers right here. This comes from the customer table we just visited, and when you click on this, it just retrieves the customer information into the header portion of the invoice. You do this when you're building a new invoice. And let's go back out and go back into invoices. This is the drop down for existing invoices. These are invoices that have already been made, and if you click on this button here, transfer to bill of lading and packing list, this will take the invoice information that's currently on the screen and transfer that into a new bill of lading and packing list. And this OK button lets you save any information you've added to or altered on the existing invoice, and there's a delete button for deleting the current invoice, and this print button will let you print the invoice. First, it will ask you to update the inventory. This will subtract the quantities of selected invoice inventory items from their counterparts in the inventory databases. It will subtract from the on-hand inventories, and this option lets you update accounts receivables. This will post an invoice to the receivables ledger for this particular customer. Now I'm going to tell this invoice to print to a PDF file, and if I go back in and double click on the invoice PDF, this is what the invoice look. It's printed on a plain piece of paper. This does not print on any pre-printed form. Now if I go back into the invoices area and click on purge, this will purge invoices for a date, for an invoice date which you key in. Let's go into invoices, invoice area. We're going to run a sales by single customer report. We'll run this from April 1st, 2009 through April 19th. We'll click on a customer, and this just shows how much product a customer purchased during this date range that we entered in. And let's go back into the invoices area. We'll run a top 10 customers by product report. Again, we'll run this for April 1st, 2009 through April 19th, 2009. Let's run this for 1-inch tins, and this just showed that 1-inch tins that were purchased during the date range were by Smith Cannon Tube Incorporated for $900. And let's go back into the invoices area. We're going to run a cumulative report of in-stops, plugs, and tins purchased. Again, we'll use our date range of April 1st through the 19th, and this just shows how much of in-stops, plugs, and tins were purchased during the date range you entered. Now let's go into accounts receivables. We'll go into the receivables screen, and this is our listing of customers, and as you click on each customer, it pulls up the list of invoices and credits for that customer. And there's two ways to enter in our receivables. You can enter it in manually on this screen by entering the transaction date, transaction type, credit or invoice, invoice number, purchase amount, payment amount, and then it calculates the balance. And this is also updated automatically from the invoices when you print, as we previously saw. Let's go back into receivables. We'll run an accounts receivables balance report. This lists what balances are owed by all the customers, minus any credits or payments that have been applied to that invoice, and then it totals here at the bottom. And let's go back into receivables. We'll run an accounts receivables invoice report for all customers. This shows what invoices, minus any credits or payments that have been applied to them, are in the system. This information includes customer name, transaction date, invoice number, and net amount owed for that invoice. go back into receivables again. We'll run an accounts receivables invoice report for a single customer. Let's click on Smith Cannon Tube. This is like the accounts receivables invoice report for all, except you're reporting for a single customer only. Now let's go into the shipping section. We'll click on packing list, and we'll bring up a packing list here, and we'll fill out some information. Customer's order number, our number, UPS, and shipped. How packed in a crate. And when we click on the print button, we'll print this to a PDF file. Click on the packing list PDF, it brings up this is printed on a plain piece of paper, and it shows all the pertinent information that came from our packing list screen. And lastly, we'll go into the shipping area again. We'll click on bill of lading, and we'll retrieve a bill of lading. And unlike the packing list, you can save changes to this. When we click on the print button, we will print a PDF of our bill of lading. And when we retrieve bill of lading PDF, this is what the display looks like. There are no labels that precede the data. This is printed on a pre-printed bill of lading form. And that is the end of the Plug and Cap Manufacturing Company Incorporated Invoicing and Accounts Receivables program.